And in the most recent hearing, sir, when he was asked about Osama bin Laden, and the remarks he made about Osama bin Laden was that, first, yes, he equated terrorists to murderers like Charles Manson, said they would have the same right because he never called them terrorists. He refused to call them terrorists. He called them murderers and said they would have the same rights as a Charles Manson. And then when it came to Osama bin Laden, when he was asked would Osama bin Laden have the same rights, he said yes, but he said don't worry, he's going to be brought back in a body bag. Now, is it the Attorney General who makes the policy as to whether or not they shoot to kill or take alive an Osama bin Laden, or isn't that the military?
It is the military, or it's the CIA if they happen to be the people who capture him. It certainly is not the Attorney General, number one. And I don't know that he was actually stating policy so much as stating his expectation. But if he was stating an expectation or a hope, I would have the opposite expectation or hope. I would hope they captured him and get whatever information and intelligence we can get about the other folks who are out there. I mean, this is not about Osama bin Laden. The president said the other day, he finally acknowledged we're at war, but then he said, well, we're at war with al-Qaeda. Made it sound like a motorcycle gang with al-Qaeda written on the back. We're at war with a movement that wants to impose Sharia law all over the world, and that offers anybody who doesn't believe in that three choices. That is, infidels get three choices. One of them is to convert, the other is to live in a second-class status and have no rights, and the third is to die. So I don't think we would find any of those choices palatable, but I think they have to recognize who they're at war with.
All right, I got one more for you, sir, and that is the argument from the left and the argument from the administration and the Justice Department is these military, these civilian courts are appropriate because, look, it worked, and then they bring up that they say 350 cases, and of course just a few of them were actual terrorists, and they point to Sheikh Omar Abdel Rahman and Jose Padilla as places where the civilian courts worked in the fight against terror. Now, you presided over those cases. What do you say to those claims?
I say they're wrong. The conviction of Sheikh Omar Abdel Rahman and his co-defendants was not without substantial cost. Forget the cost in dollars of protecting the jury, protecting the judge, protecting the courthouse, and so on. We gave up intelligence information that we knew about who Osama bin Laden was, information that found its way to him in Khartoum. This is back in 1995, within weeks after it was served. So far as the Padilla case, he unfortunately could never be tried on the most serious charges that should have been brought against him because the kind of evidence that we had was not admissible at a civilian trial, although it might very well have been admissible at a military commission trial. So those are not success stories.
I know I said one more, and I promise I'll let you go. But when you watch, without talking about your successor by name or particular, when you head an institution like the Justice Department and you leave and you see the 180-degree turnaround in the way things are handled, especially something as important as the war on terror, how do you handle that personally?
Some of it is painful to watch. I console myself with the fact that when I went to the Justice Department, I found thousands and thousands of very dedicated people, and I can only hope and believe that the ones in the line positions are still there. The ones at the top obviously have been turned over, but hopefully there will come a point where that will change, and the people in the line positions will be allowed to do their jobs. All
right, folks, if you want more of the thoughts and the feelings of the former Attorney General of the United States, Michael Mukasey, please go out and get How Obama Mishandled the War on Terror. It's a broadside, which is a very small paperback-type book. In my view, somebody should be giving you the big bucks to write a huge book. But in the meantime, this will suffice. So I thank you, sir, and I look forward to speaking to you again.
Thanks very much.
All right. Former Attorney General Michael Mukasey, ladies and gentlemen.